What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is session 2 of the NBA round 2 predictions. Very interesting round 1. So if you missed episode 1, you can go back and check it. And, sometimes the injuries can really change the narrative of certain series. So, you never know what could happen because of injury. All right, let's get to it. We're going to start on the east side, Knicks versus Bucks. And, this one's a very good series already. And, what the Nets got to do to make it to the next round is, Kevin Durant got to be Kevin Durant. Kyrie got to be Kyrie. And, Harden is hurt right now. We don't know when he's coming back. He's not playing game 2 right now, based on Woj tweets. But they just got to play without him. I'm sure they have enough pieces to get the job done, as they did the first game so far. And Griffin has been playing amazing so far in the playoffs. And when he was in Detroit, clearly not dunking for a year and a half, clearly he didn't want to be there. So Pistons should have came to terms with that, but he stayed there longer than he should. But now he's playing inspired basketball, and he's really helping the team win. Also, the role players are shooting the ball well, like Harris, Shamet. They picked up Mike James. I really like his game, the point guard from Euro. He got two take contracts, and they really liked him, so they end up signing him. And Jeff Green is a big blow to his foot. They'll reevaluate him in a couple of days and see where he's at. With Jeff Green, they can really play small ball and be versatile and have 5 shooters on the court. But now they gotta depend on the youngster Claxton, and he's been playing really good. He does the little things really well. He's a good defender. He can really switch on the ball screens, so he's been really helping him. The undersized Bruce Bowen, I don't know how he's getting his way in the paint. 6'5", 6'6", but he's doing his thing in the paint even more than what DeAndre Jordan would do, with his aging self. And what they got to do on the defensive end, is really slow down the Bucks. They really got to pick their poison. Is it Giannis is gonna score 30 and 15 and 5, or he's gonna get those numbers and still have Drew Holiday chip in 20, Middleton chip in 20, and have 20 plus 3-point, because they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league and one of the best defensive teams in the league. So if you don't stop them, they're gonna end up stopping you. So Nets defense has been getting a little better, but it's still really suspect. So they're gonna have to pick it up on that end to come out on top for this series. And Steve Nash has been doing a good job, but I think this will be their biggest test. And what the Bucks got to do is just once again they got to pick their poison too, and just really find a way to slow KD down, and KD doesn't like to be physical, and PJ Tucker I would think is the right defender for these games, because he's physical, and KD doesn't like to fight his way to get the ball or fight to get open. If he doesn't get the ball that first time and you're denying him, he won't try to get open. So if he can get the ball out of his hands, get the ball out of Kyrie's hands, or when they do get it, double team him and make the other guys hit open shots. If I gotta go down like that, I'll go down like that. But I don't want KD getting 30, Kyrie getting 30, and everybody else chipping in. Then they're just gonna outscore you, because they got all the firepower that they need offensively. And I just believe that Bucks is really on a vengeance. Losing a couple times in the playoffs, and they know what it takes to come out on top. Like the Spurs 2014 when they came out of vengeance and lost in the 2013 to Miami Heat. that next year they just dominated. Same thing with 2017 Warriors. They came out and dominate that year because they lost to LeBron. Giving up 3-1 lead in the finals. So they really got something to prove, and I think they really do have it this year. So I'm gonna go with Bucks in 7. Next matchup is 76ers versus Hawks, and they really got to stop the head of the snake, which is Trae Young. If he doesn't go, the whole team doesn't go. So watching them the last series, every time he got doubled, a real strong blitz, and they got the ball out of his hands. He didn't make that too much of a good decision when they got the ball out of his hands. So if you get the ball out of his hands as much as possible and don't make him touch it, and hey, even as to go as far as playing 4-on-4, hey, so be it, and make the other guys go down and score 20, 30. I'd rather lose that way than everybody scoring. Right, so Bogdanovich has been playing well. Capella has been playing well. Collins, I would think he would be the X factor. Some games he's on, some games he's off, and he's in his free agency year, so he knows he has to play big, as well as Herter and Hunter. The young guys have been playing well too, so kudos to them. And I don't know why Doc put Danny Green on Trae. Danny Green has not been playing or shooting the ball well for the last 5 years. That's why Lakers got rid of him, because he just cannot find his shot consistently. Defensively, he's pretty good, but offensively, he's a liability. Then at some point, we gotta take him out of the game, right? The question is, can Embiid stay healthy? If he stays healthy, it'll be a much easier series for the Sixers, as well as Simmons. It was a close game. I would go to Hack-a-Shaq. It worked for the Wizards. That was the only game that they won. And some people would say that Embiid wasn't there, but they did win the next game without Embiid. So whatever it takes to win a playoff game, you gotta do that. As well as Trae's a really skinny player. I don't think he's that strong, but he's very crafty, very smart. And the NBA has really softened up the rules, so it's hard to be physical with a guy like that. So it just makes it really, really difficult to stop him. But I'm going with 76ers in 6 games. All right, let's go to the West Side. Utah versus Clippers. And this one's going to be a really good matchup. Really good 3-point shooting teams. Clippers were the highest 3-point shooting team percentage wise. Very good defensive team, and Utah is one of the best 3-point shooting teams as well too. But in this series, Clippers really struggled against Mavs, and to be honest, it was really only Luka. And if other guys chipped in like Hardaway, then they gave themselves a chance to win. If those guys are off, it comes down to an L for the Dallas Mavericks. And Porzingis was very disappointing. Just the fact that I'm just looking at his body language, he really does not want to be in Dallas. So they got to do something about that, because he's getting too much money to not wanting to be there, not really liking to play with Luka. And how Luka plays, he doesn't really give up the ball until he wants to, and Porzingis doesn't want to be a standstill 3-point shooter. So it's getting really tough on them, but they can find ways to utilize Porzingis better. And also, so if Clippers struggled with the Mavs, then I would think they would have more struggle with the Utah, because Utah has a very, very deep bench, deep starting 5. Then all players can average double figures, and they got a superstar named Donovan Mitchell that they got to slow down too. So this one, I would say Utah in 7. And the last matchup in the West Side, Nuggets versus Suns, I would say this is the hardest prediction. Just the fact that Chris Paul's hurt, and he's playing hurt, and he's getting minutes as well too. So it can be a little tricky. how his shoulder holds up. That's another player that can't keep his body right. But the last 2 years he has, and one thing he said, he changed his diet and so forth. So in the near future, I'm gonna have some stuff about that and have an episode on that as well too. But Joker has been averaging 33, 10 rebounds, 4.5 assists the last series, and he will be the best player on the floor, I believe. And if you have the best player on the floor, you always give yourself a chance to win. And Nuggets is a very, very deep team, and they're clicking with all cylinders without Jamal, and they have adjusted to playing without Jamal. And picking up Aaron Gordon was a very, very big pickup in the midseason. Just the fact that he's a big forward guard that can shoot the ball and can do many things, and a very good defensive player. It helps them to switch a lot. They can be very good defensively at times, but Suns is a very good defensive team, very defensive-minded coaching staff as well too. So both teams, they match up really, really well. And Monte Morris is playing well for the Nuggets. They don't even have Barton, and they're playing very well. So they really got a very, very deep team, and a lot of guys can do many things on the court. Porter has been stepping up, scoring the ball like he can since high school. And truthfully, Booker has to play like an all-star for them to even get a chance to win, because Chris Paul is not 100%. Crowder hasn't been shooting the ball well, but he does hit big shots, and he's always going to play defense. Cam Johnson, the kid from Villanova as well, they've been shooting the ball really well, playing good defense. Payne has been coming off the bench, backing up Chris Paul. He's been playing amazing as well too. Ayton has been playing amazing. He's gonna really have his hand full, and I think it's gonna really go down to the wire with this one. And I have Nuggets in 7, beating Suns at their home floor in Arizona. This series is going to be adjustment from game to game. It's very, very similar teams, and every possession is going to be a battle, and every possession is going to matter. But Nuggets have more experience and going very far last year, so they know what it takes. Suns, most of those guys haven't been this far, or even haven't been to the playoffs, so I don't think they know what it takes. But we'll find out in a week and a half. All right, thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to continue to have more content soon, and peace.